This right here is the brand new album from rapper Sideshow. It's called Tigray Funk. Now, to peel the curtain back a little bit, I was not planning to review this or really check this out, to be honest with you, for a couple reasons. First of all, I'm aware of Sideshow, I'm familiar with his material, and I remember I kind of sort of checked out his last record from a couple years ago. It was called Fun Toy, and I thought it was okay. It didn't really do much for me, but it was the cover of that record where he had his hands up, but his hands had extra fingers, and I don't like that shit. For some reason, that's like a weird thing for me. It's a pet peeve, or however you want to put it. I don't like extra fingers, extra toes, and extra head. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. I just don't like it. It gives me the ick. Now, when this new record came out, and this may sound incredibly unfair, but for some odd reason, when I saw this cover, I was like, I don't I don't need to listen to this. So I was kind of dismissing this record. I listened to a couple tracks and I was like, whatever. But then one of my followers DM'd me and he was like, are you going to review this? I'd like for you to review this as a little request because for him, this is actually his favorite record of the year so far, or at least a record that he's really, really enjoying. So that piqued my interest. I thought, you know what? Let me go back, give this a listen. And I gotta say, first of all, thank you to at Quasimotos because I really enjoyed this. This right here is a really, really good record. Now, when I first went back to listen to this album, the first thing I realized is that technically this is a 4 disc album. It's in 4 different parts. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on now. I don't know if I want all that. But it's actually only an hour long, so that's okay, I guess. And, I want to say if you choose to listen to this record and give it a shot, there's a chance that the first couple tracks might maybe rub you the wrong way and you think, this isn't really for me. But I'm willing to promise you that if you choose to stick with it and just go along for the ride, I think you'll find that it is worth the trip. It's worth the journey of going through because listening to this album, I feel like you're listening to something that is being constructed as the album is going on, track by track. Like each brick is building to something that actually makes sense in the long run. And this whole thing is actually much, much better as you get deeper into the album. It's kind of like you're seeing someone painting a picture, and the first couple strokes, you're like, what's going to be the point of this? But when they're done, you have that aha moment. And I think there's a lot of brilliance on this record. Now, with this record being a really cool combination of abstract experimental hip hop with some trap and cloud rap, the funny thing is, while listening to this, for some odd reason, I found myself thinking about System of a Down, the metal band. And the reasoning for this is because I feel like for a good amount of time now, a certain sector of people look at them as a political band or their music is strictly politically based. And of course, there is a lot of political elements to their music. But one of the things that I always loved about System of a Down is that they have a very unique and just special take on talking about love, about relationships, and mental health. And I feel like the stronger, more bolder elements of their lyrical content tend to kind of smother all the other stuff, and people might miss on a lot of key aspects of their band. And the reason why I say that is because on this record, I'm listening to it and I feel like at first there's a lot of braggadocio going on here. It's a little audacious and splashy at times, even though the mixing is a little bit muffled as well. But as I'm really starting to pay attention after a couple of listens, there's a lot of deep shit on this record. It's very confessional. It's just real and honest. And I commend the risks that are taken on this record, both production wise and lyrically. Now, one last thing, a quick question before I hand out the butter here, but I was just curious because there's a particular line on this album. There's actually a few lines similar to this on this record, but at one point he says, "Where I'm from, we don't trust white people." Now, when people who are, white, who love and listen to hip hop, when they hear lines like that from various black artists on hip hop records, how does that make you feel? Because I guess to equate it for myself, it's like when I hear women talk about men and as far as how dangerous we can be, or they don't feel comfortable around men, or how dumb we can be. When I hear that, usually my reaction is, yeah, I get it. I understand. Fair. Makes sense. Now, when a white person hears lines like that, do you guys go, fair? I get it. I understand. Like, and just to be clear, I'm not telling you that's how you should feel. Just so we have a understanding here. I'm not saying, oh yeah, confirm that for me. That's not what I'm saying at all. Feel how you feel. I just think that that's a very interesting thing to kind of have thrown in your face while you're trying to enjoy some music. That's just personally very interesting to me. But I am really glad that I gave this a chance and that someone told me to give this a chance because this is one of the best hip hop records that I've heard this year. This is really good. I think that this is really special, thought provoking, incredibly immersive. This is good stuff. 9 sticks of butter. Peace, love, butter.